Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. Today's a big day. We are going to finish phase 3. I'm really excited about this. I'm on my third cup of coffee, so I am ready to go. As promised, since the last episode, I have spent some time feeding in all the necessary ingredients that we're going to need for this, and I'll show you how I did that. Let's take a look at our planner. Actually, first of all, let's take a look at the map. Let's see what the base overall looks like. Right, so here's our plastic facility that's also making power. In the last episode, we connected the train line, bringing it all the way to our phase 3 factory. This is going to get the plastic and the rubber brought in. And then I also am bringing in some material from the phase 2 factory, and I'm bringing in some material from the phase 1 factory. Sorry, this is the steel factory, not phase 2. This is the phase 2 factory, and this is the phase 3 factory. So let me just show you quickly how I accomplished all this. If we look at the planner, these are all the items that I'm bringing in. Now, there weren't so many last time we looked at this because I was making, before I had the phase 3 factory, making concrete and iron plate and copper ingots, but I decided to make those in other locations and just belt them in. It was a little bit easier, and you'll see what I mean. But these are all the ingredients that we have to bring in, right? The rubber and the plastic, we've got that handled. And then we've got steel pipes and encased industrial beams. I'm bringing those over from the steel factory, which I'll show you. Caterium ingots I'm bringing in from the Caterium node. I just expanded that to make some additional ingots. Some of these are also going to phase 2 factory, as you know. I'm bringing in smart plating from the phase 1 factory. Remember, we're making 4 a minute over there. We just need 2 a minute over here. From the phase 2 factory, I'm bringing in automated wiring. And then I'm making concrete, iron plate, and copper ingots locally and then belting that in. So let me show you all that stuff here quickly. So yeah, I expanded the Caterium ingot production so that I can feed both of these factories. What do we got here? Yeah, so I'm just running a Mark II miner on the pure node, and I just set up enough smelters to smelt all of it. We don't need all of it, but it's there in case we need more later. The automated wiring, I just belted over, way over from over there. I'm just taking it out of the container where we store it, and then belting it over. And if there's any, if there's any excess, it'll continue to either collect there or go in the sink. All right, so that takes care of those 2 items. And then I'm just using an elevator to bring those down to our logistics floor. Okay, so that takes care of that. The plastic and the rubber we've talked about already. Those are coming from the train station. And then over here, here's the smart plating from phase 1. And if we take a look, let's see, let me get down below here. Okay, so I just belted that over, all the way over from the phase 1 factory. It's a bit of a long run, but it all gets here eventually. Go jetpack. Okay. The concrete, originally I was going to bring in stone and make more concrete there, or here in the phase 3 factory, but since I already have a wet concrete production going on over there, I just expanded on that. I overclocked it a little bit. I added another water extractor, and I'm splitting off part of the production to come over here. Okay, so that's how we're getting the concrete from that area over there. that we initially set up to make the encased industrial pipes. Those are coming over as well. Steel pipe is coming over, right? Those are just coming from those containers over there and across this little bridge that I built. And then the last two ingredients are iron plate and copper ingots. And that was fairly quick and easy to set up. Now I only needed 30 iron plates a minute, which is not a whole lot. So what I did is I overclocked. This is one of the miners that's mining iron ore for the steel production. So I just overclocked that a bit to create some iron plates, right? So it's 1.5 smelters, 1.5 constructors, making me 30 iron plates a minute. So that was fairly simple. And then the copper is coming from over here. This is a pure copper node. So I just set up a line of smelters over here, as you can see, and ran the belt. Now for this, we needed like, what was that, 130, yeah, like 132 a minute. So I'm using a Mark III belt to bring that over. Okay, so that just comes over here, and then I bring it up onto this logistics floor over here where it joins up with this with the iron plate, and then we run that over the bridge to the phase 3 factory along with the extra concrete. All right, so yeah, that took me getting all that set up took me a good solid couple of hours. So I think it's good that I did that offline, but in any case, the main point here is that we are pretty much ready to go on phase 3. So first, let me give myself some stairs so I can get up there. I don't like how that happens. If we use catwalk ramps, that works better because catwalk ramps go in 2-meter increments. Catwalk stairs go in 4-meter increments. So if you want to get to a 2-meter thick foundation and you're coming down 8 meters, that's 10 meters, and that's why the stairs end up clipping through the floor and causing weird issues. So maybe I'll just use ramps from now on. Okay, so let's look at the plan now for phase 3. Now that we have all these ingredients coming in, the rest of it is pretty darn simple. In fact, we can start with the modular engines, I think. We just need to make some wire. We're going to use the fused wire recipe. And then we'll make rotors, stators to give ourselves some motors. Combine that with some rubber, right? This is using the standard recipe for modular engines, and we'll get 2.5 a minute with summer sloops. Okay, so let's do that first. Why not? And actually, I think what I'll do, I'll make the fused wire and the fused quickwire all together, since they use the same 2 ingredients. So we'll set up a line of 4 assemblers to make these. I don't remember if I unlocked the fused quickwire recipe already, though. Let me take a look. I did not. So let me get a ma'am. Pardon me, ma'am. I'm gonna have to make use of your services. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I was in the hard drive library. So I'm looking for fused quickwire. There we go. Select that one. Great. And now that we've done that, yeah, no, I'll just leave it. Okay. So we got the fused quickwire. Now the Caterium's coming over there, the copper's coming over here, so let's just go in 2 and 2, and I'll just build it right here. I'm not going to use my blueprint for this one, since this is going to be kind of like mixed production here. So we'll just line up 4 of these. Right, so one of them is going to be making fused wire, and then the other ones will make fused quickwire. Okay, and in this case, I'm going to bring in all the ingredients from downstairs. If I'm not mistaken, these are the only 2 machines that are using Caterium ingots and copper ingots. Yeah, so that's fine. All right, now the quick wire I need, or I'm sorry, the wire I need 70 per minute. Okay, so let's set that. 70 per minute, so that's going to need, yeah, Mark 1 belts. No problem. Like that. And then for the quick wire, oh, actually I need 3.25 machines. Okay, so 292 and a half total. So let's add yet one more machine, and we'll overclock, or we'll underclock this one to 25 per minute, or no, to 25% rather. Yeah, and that'll give us the 3.25 machines we need for the quick wire. Okay, and these are all manageable with Mark 1s. All right, let's drop down here and we'll get this hooked up. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed in one from one side, and I'll feed in the other from the other side. Like this. And I think if I try to put splitters on the elevator heads, I think they're going to interfere with one another. So let's do... Yeah, let's do the Caterium on this side. So I'll just put splitters. Oh, and these are all facing the wrong direction. Shoot. All right, I'm gonna have to fix that. How is that possible? Yeah, okay. I have to delete the one underneath too. I'm surprised these all got built facing the wrong direction. That's kind of annoying. Here, I'll just start this over. All right. That's better. Okay. Turn on my flashlight here. All right, so this will be for the copper ingots. And this will be for the Caterium ingots. Okay, now I should be able to make this work. All right. And then when you do it this way, remember that you'll have to create the belt connection yourself. And that's a Mark 1. All right, so that's the Caterium. Easy enough. And then we'll do the copper over here. I think it's easier if I start from the last one and go back. All right, and that'll be a Mark 3 because I have a larger quantity to feed in. Okay. Very good. And then we just need to power them up. Oh. Okay. All right, now where do we bring in our power? We'll bring it from over here where the train is. Here I needed to bridge a power line over the railroad, or over the rail. So you can see I just used a beam to serve as a base for the power pole to give it some extra height. And I think it looks pretty cool too. Hey, speaking of trains, whee! Everybody loves trains. And if you don't, you're probably watching the wrong video. All right. There we go. Why don't you have any Caterium ingots? Do you have Caterium ingots? Nobody has Caterium ingots. I wonder why. There we go. That ought to help. Okay. I'll use the ladder. Okay. So there's my quickwire. Eventually. Yeah, here we go. It's slowly starting to come in. Okay. Awesome. So we got wire and we got quick wire. Now let's take a look at the quick wire. The quick wire is going to 2 different locations. Okay, but I'm not going to worry about the quick wire right now. That's for the other ingredients. Right now I'm going to focus on the modular engines. So in that case, we need only the wire. We need wire and pipes and 2 assemblers. Okay, so we'll make 2 more assemblers here. And one of these is going to make stators, and the other one is going to make rotors. But we need steel rotors, not regular rotors, right? Yeah, steel rotors. That's an alternate recipe. Okay, and I will... okay, yeah, they're not totally aligned with the foundation things, whatever, but that's fine. Not a big deal. Actually, let's do another one here. There. Okay, and then we need a power pole right here to connect those. Wonderful. Okay, and then in this, oh, and I built them backwards. Jeez Louise. Okay. Let's try this again. All right. Steel rotor and stator. Okay. And now I do want a power pole here. See, I did it right the first time. Okay. There we are. So, yeah, so in this case, I'm going to I'll bring the pipe in from downstairs. And the wire, I will just run from up here. Doesn't like that, does it? Okay, let's try like this. Is that the only place I'm using wire? Yes, it is. Okay, good. All right, so this is making 70 a minute. Here I'm going to consume 30, and here I'm going to consume 40. All right, perfect. So 30 and 40, that means we need a Mark II belt coming out, since we're making more than 60. Okay, and then those two combine into half a machine making motors. Is that going to be enough space? Yeah. Okay. Motors. 50% clock speed. Okay. Now, before we get to that, let's hook up some steel pipe. Now, steel pipe is used in several different places here, isn't it? And I need 10. I need 25 coming over here. 25 steel pipe out of how much? Out of 142. Okay. Yeah, so what I think I'll do for the steel pipe is I'll just bring this down. Okay, and I will attach splitters, and I'll just run it straight through. Okay, so I'll run it in like this. Okay, that's too long. Here. Right, and then when I need steel pipe elsewhere, I will take it from here. Wherever that happens to need to go. Okay, this one is not running full time. I think it's because we're still filling up copper ingots. Yeah, here's one thing I can do to kind of help this fill up faster is I can just fill up my output slots here. I want all these to fill up. Okay. How about this one? Yeah, let's fill this one up too. Oh, I didn't want cable. I wanted wire. There. That way they'll just fill up with ingots, which is what I want, so that we don't get, we've talked about it. Okay, so this is the machine making motors. And I'll just bring this one up to here. Power this bad boy. Okay, and then this will finally go into another machine that is going to make the modular engines. And in fact, in this case, what I'll do is I will line up one of the inputs with this output so that we can quite simply do that. All right. Oh, is that the wrong type of machine? Yes, I need a manufacturer for the modular engines. Okay. How many times am I going to click on OBS Studio instead of the game? Place your bets, folks. Okay. So this is the manufacturer. It's a big one. These are really cool machines. So the manufacturer can take up to 4 ingredients. As you can see on the back side, it's got 4 inputs. One of which will be the motors. Okay. And we are going to make the modular engines on this one. And we are going to sloop it so we get double output. Now, the manufacturers need 4 summer sloops. So it's not an insignificant number. These consume 55 megawatts before you sloop it. So once the slooping starts happening, you'll see that it's going to consume a considerable amount of juice. Okay, right here. We'll see that after the first cycle. This is going to jump up considerably. All right, and then we need to feed in rubber and smart plating. Now, I think this is the only thing that needs the smart plating, right? Yeah, 2.5 a minute. That's the only thing that needs the smart plating, so we can just feed that directly into this machine and not have to worry about splitting it. The rubber, however, is used in... Is it just 2 locations? No. There's one. Where's this one going? Oh, okay. We're using that for reinforced iron plate. We're using some for the computers. And then we'll use some over here. So that needs to split into 3, if I'm not mistaken. And how much is it all together? 73. Okay. Yeah, so I'll just run a Mark III belt. I'll run a Mark III belt and we'll split it into 3. One of those will come up here. Okay, so let's bring in the rubber first. And this will be fairly easy. And I'll do the same thing I did before. I'll just throw a splitter on here. And I'll run a Mark III belt from the output over here. All right, I'll start it here. Okay, and this will give our train something to do. Okay, and then when I need rubber again, I'll just pull it out from the other side. All right. And then, yeah, I actually have some smart plating in my inventory. We'll put that there. This way we'll be able to see how much power it's going to use once it gets through the first cycle. Now, when you select a recipe and then you summer sloop it, the first cycle that it runs is going to be without the summer sloop. That's why it says 1 here. And then the number in parentheses is what it's going to be on the next production cycle. So let's just give it a sec. It takes a minute. While we're waiting for that, this will be for the smart plating to come in. This thing's got some pretty cool animations too. It looks like it's building some kind of a motor. I guess it is. I think the animation is the same no matter what you produce in it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Okay, yeah, so it's 220 megawatts with the summer sloops. That's from 55, so each summer sloop is doubling. Or each summer sloop, anyway, it's 4 times as much power. Sorry, I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but it's 4x. Okay, so let's bring this down. And actually, I think if we need more rubber, we'll get it from here instead. All right, and that's going to be for the smart plating. So let's get the smart plating run over. And we don't want to clip. Oh, maybe I don't have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to jump over. All right, so I'll stick an elevator here. Let's see. And we're going to need to reverse that. And turn it. Okay, and there's our smart plating. Ah! Okay. So we're all set on modular engines. We need 500. Now you can see in the phase 3 objectives up there in the corner, I put in the versatile frameworks into the space elevator like a long time ago. So that requirement's already been satisfied. Okay, so one down. We got a few to go. So we want to go adaptive control units next. And that's, oh, you know what? I forgot that we have to overclock this to 125%. Okay. Let me do that before we forget. That'll do interesting things to our power consumption too. So by the end, this thing will probably be using like half a gigawatt. All right. So that's all set. And at some point we'll set up a container. I'm not sure exactly where the containers need to end up, but you know, it'll be like down here somewhere. All right. And there's all of our beautiful modular engines. Look at that. Alrighty. So next step. So we got the fused wire, and we need we need adhered iron plate. That allows us to make reinforced iron plate from rubber and iron. So let's see if I'm pretty sure I have that recipe unlocked. I just don't know if I've selected it already. Let's take a look. Adhered, here we go. Adhered iron plate. Okay. And since I just selected 2 recipes, that means the other 2 that I didn't select are now back in the pool. So I'm going to start scanning another drive so that I can get those, you know, so that they'll appear again in case I decide to choose them later. Okay. Yeah, so let's do the adhered iron plate. I think that is the only place that iron plate is going, right? Yeah, so I need 3 machines, 10 a minute. 3 machines, 10 a minute. Don't forget. Okay, and I'll just set those up here, I guess. 1, 2, 3. Adhered iron plate. There we go. There's 1, 2, and 3. These normally make 3.75. 2 of those is what, 7.5? So I need the last one to make 2.5. Sorry, 2.5. And that's our 3.667 or whatever. Okay, so that'll give us our 10 per minute. iron plate and rubber. Okay, let's get them powered up. Okay, yeah, they're facing the right way. Okay, yeah, and these we will feed everything from downstairs. Because the rubber is already down there and the iron plate is not needed anywhere else. Let me just double check here. Yeah, these are fairly small quantities. Okay, here you can have some rubber to start with. All right. Okay, so the rubber is over there. Okay, so we'll feed rubber in from this side. And we'll feed the iron plate from this side. Oh, you son of a gun. Okay. What is that noise? It sounds like somebody singing badly. And I hear it all the time, even though I turned off music. It sounds like music, but every once in a while I just hear this. Ooh-hoo. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Maybe that's some of the wildlife. Okay, there's the iron. And then here is where we will... Oh, yeah. Here's where we'll bring in some rubber. Okay. More rubber, please. Okay, excellent. Now I have a couple holes in the floor, so let's get those patched up. All right, so this should take care of adhered iron plate. And then we'll merge those all together. For the love of Pete. All right. Okay. reinforced iron plate. Done. Now we need 5 machines making steeled frames. 5 machines, steeled frames. I should probably give myself a little more space. Yeah, so let's line them up like thusly. 2, 3. Actually, this would be a good place to use one of my blueprints. Let's use the blueprint for assemblers. Even though I only need 5 of them. Let's see, material feeds in like that. Okay, I'll just set that up right there. Now in this case, I only need 5 machines. Well, we could do a couple things. We could do 5. We could do 5 divided by 8, and we could just underclock all of these to 0.625. Or we could delete a couple of the machines. And I think we'll do that. That leaves me with 6. Maybe it would be easier just to do it the other way. Actually, I think it would. I think it'll be easier just to set up 5 machines. And it'll be even better if they're all facing the right direction. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and these are going to be steeled frame. Paste. Paste. Okay. And we'll hook up the power. Okay. So the pipe, as before, will come from downstairs. Okay, and then the iron plate will come from up here. Is that enough clearance? All right. We have clearance. And then the last one, we don't actually need a splitter for. Okay. There it is again. And then we'll hear the, oh, that's coming next. All right. Pipes. And I'm sorry if I ruined this game by pointing out those noises now that you've previously been ignoring. You're not going to ignore it anymore. That's for sure. Where is this pipe going? Ah, okay, it's coming out there. That doesn't help us a whole lot. Not much I can do about that without clipping, is there? All right. Let's do this differently. I'm gonna need an elevator. Okay, and now I can put a splitter right on right on the belt, and if you hold control, it'll snap it to align. There. All right. Okay, there's our steel pipe. And this should give us the modular frames that we need. There we go. That'll give us 15 a minute. Okay. And now we can make heavy modular frames, and that's going to require 2 computers. And I'm doing 2 because we want to collect some extra ones, because that's an ingredient that we want to build things. Okay, so let's set up 2 of these bad boys. Where do I want to put them? Yeah, this seems like a good place. Heavy modular frames. Heavy modular frames. Screws. What? No. This is an alternate recipe, isn't it? Heavy modular frame. Oh, heavy encased frame. Heavy encased frame. That's what we need. Heavy encased frame. There we go. Okay. All right. So, yeah, so we'll feed in the modular frames, obviously up here. And then The other ingredients we are going to bring in from downstairs. And this is the first one where we actually need 4 ingredients. Not you. There. Okay. Okay. Got that part done. Okay, now comes the hard part. So we need encased beams, steel pipes, and concrete. Let's see. Is concrete used anywhere else? I think concrete is only used for this. Yeah, so all the concrete we can just run directly into these. And then we need pipe and encased beams. And the encased beams are also only used here. Right? Let me just check the numbers. Yeah. Encased beams and what was the other one? Encased beams. Oh, the concrete. Right. So concrete, we need 41.25, and that's basically what we're making. Okay. So the concrete and encased beams can go directly to these 2 machines, and then the pipe, you know, we need to split. All right. So let's start with the concrete and encased beams. And I'll do those. Yeah, we can make this fairly simple, I think. All right. Yeah, so let's just feed in. We'll just feed in. Oh, no, I can't do it like that. All right. No. Yeah, that's okay. Concrete, encased beams. Yeah, so here's a little, just a little trick. Let's see. Here, I'll do it again here. That way it'll connect. All right. Concrete, encased beams. And then we just connect all of these. Did I already connect those? Yeah, I already connected those. Okay. So let's bring over the concrete and encased beams somehow. We'll have to jump over this. I think rather than elevators, I'll just do a ramp. Like that. Yeah, and then I'll leave it like that. That's right. Yeah, right there. Sorry, I have to check 3 times. Okay, and then this one will bring down. And that'll run in there. And that one will keep at that level and run into there. Okay, so this is a way that you can kind of feed, you know, you can feed multiple of these from below without having to have belts all over the place. This kind of helps tidy it up. All right, and then for the pipes, we are going to bring those in from the other side. Like so. And for these, I will just put a splitter on the ground. Now, where are we getting the pipes from? From down here, yeah? Okay, yeah, so this works out pretty well, actually. Oh, no. Yeah, we'll just connect like this. Mark 1, Mark 1, and then this will connect with a Mark 3. All right, and then if we need more pipes again later, which I think we will, we can get them from there. Okay. So this should be all that it takes to get these machines going. But first we have to power them up. So let's do that. Is that a good place for it? I think so. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Heavy encased frames. Nice. All right, so these make 2.813 per minute. Oh, 33. Okay, yeah, that's fine. 33.75 a minute. Yeah. Okay, so the encased or the heavy modular frames then are going to go 1 a minute to our final manufacturer to make the adaptive control units, and then the rest are going to go into a container. Okay, so what I will do in this case is I'm going to put in a merger so we can merge the output, and then I'll put a smart splitter directly in front, and I'll set the overflow to go out the middle, and then I'll just do any coming out the sides, and the overflow will be our storage container. I think that's the right place. All right. Yeah. And there we go. Okay, and then that one will also have a dimensional depot on it. And now we're making heavy modular frames. Let's throw on a sign. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we don't want to forget that we need... I'm going to need another smart splitter in front of this. Because that one will be for the, you know, for when the container is full, for the production overflow to go to a sink. And we'll want that for the modular engines as well. Okay, how many have we got? See, we already have almost 100 of them. We'll be done with this before you know it. Okay, what's next? We got the heavy modular frames. Now let's go down this path. So here we need 5 machines making circuit boards. So let's set those up. And it looks like I'm going to need to expand my upper deck here. Yeah, let's remove this. Yeah, we'll just do it like that. Okay, so 5 machines making circuit boards. No alternate recipes here. I don't think. I better double check. Yeah, actually there is an alternate recipe. Because we're using quickwire, not copper sheets. Caterium circuit board. All right, let's go back to the MAM. Ooh. I don't have it unlocked yet. Ah, there it is. Whew. Close one. Okay, and let's start scanning another drive. There we go. Caterium circuit board. That way we don't have to make copper sheets. And we can use quickwire. Okay, so this will use quickwire from over here. I think I can just run those above ground. Or I can run them along the ceiling. I'll run them along the ceiling. That'll be a little bit cleaner. So we'll bring everything from downstairs once again. All right, let's get some power. Give me a power pole. There we go. All right. Yeah, and these take Caterium wire and plastic. And I think this is the only thing that's going to consume plastic here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, so for the Caterium wire... Whoops. I'll do those up here. And then these I'll do down here. And we may have some mild clipping going on. Yeah, we'll have a little bit of clipping down here between these belts and these conveyors, but don't care too much. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah. Five. All right. So let's bring in the plastic. All right. Here, I'll just do it like that. Okay, so there's the plastic coming in, 62.5, and then Caterium wire is 187, so that'll be that'll be a Mark III belt. So let's get all this wire merged up here. We don't need that. All right. Yeah, it's 90 a minute coming out of each one. So, I'll just use Mark III all around. Actually, between all of these, 292. Okay, so this actually has to be a Mark IV. Yeah, because this is 90 times 3. That's the 270. Yeah, so coming out of here, we need a Mark IV. Whoops. Mark IV. There we go. All right. There we go. All right, and then out the other end, I'll just throw in a Mark III belt to where we can pick up more Caterium wire for the rest of it. Whoops. Got to put my guardrails up. It's not just for looks. Okay. So this should be now making our circuit boards. Wonderful. Okay. And then the circuit boards are going to split into 3. So we need 30 going to one place. We need 5. And then the rest going to a container. Yeah. I'm just going to merge these all into one. And then I'll do a smart splitter. Oops. Okay, and then we'll put a smart splitter there. And again, I'll do overflow out the center, and then we'll do any on both sides. I think that's how I have them lined up. Yep. And then there'll be yet another smart splitter for the overflow. There we go. We'll put one of these up top. We'll put our sign there. Circuit boards. There we go. And wherever I'm linking a container with a dimensional depot, I'm using a Mark III now because my upload speed is 240 a minute. So with a Mark III, I'll be able to upload at maximum speed when I pull stuff out of the dimension. Okay, so we got that handled, I think. How many circuit boards in total are we making? 43. Okay, yeah. So Mark I belts all around, no problem. Okay, and then we need 2 machines, 2 manufacturers making Caterium computers. Again with the Caterium. So let's go grab that recipe because I don't think I've selected it yet. Okay, what did we get on that last one? All right. So let's look for computer, Caterium computer. There we go. All right. All right, so where can I shoehorn a couple more of these manufacturers? I guess right here. I might, yeah, I'm going to have to get more room. Or maybe, will they fit over here? Let's see. Man, these things are ginormous. Yeah, I'll have to put them right here. Okay. Caterium computer. Caterium computer. All right. So these are going to use circuit boards, and then we'll do, well, what else? What else do we need? Circuit boards, Caterium, or quickwire, and rubber. Yeah. So we'll do the circuit boards above ground, and then we'll get the others from downstairs. No, from here. Okay, and I'm going to fill these up to get them started. Actually, let's fill them up with quickwire too while I'm at it. And let's get some rubber. Okay, so now they're ready to go as soon as we power them up. And then we just have to feed in the rubber and the quickwire. Now there's our quickwire. So once again, I'll do those from up here. And we'll do the quickwire, or we'll do the rubber. Oh, well, that's asymmetrical. Oh, that actually works out well. Here, look. We'll do... I can do it like this, and then there won't be any clipping. What did I just do? Okay. First come out here, then go down here, and then go over there. Easy peasy. Okay, and then rubber. That one's easy. I know I have a stub somewhere for rubber. I don't remember where. Here it is. No, that's not it. Okay, I'll just put a splitter down here. go. Make sure that's coming in. Yep. All right, awesome. So now we just need to power these up. Oh, shoot. All right. Computers, everybody. Let me just make sure I don't need to overclock those or anything. Nope, we're good. All right. So, we're going to need a little bit more room. So let's throw down some more chunks of foundation here. All right. So my storage is not going to be all neatly lined up like it was in the last factory. I'm not concerned about that if you guys aren't. Okay, so we go merger, merger. And then we're going to have 2 smart splitters. One for the production and one for the overflow. Okay, so again, overflow here and then any and any out the sides. Because some of these computers are going to need to go to our final manufacturer, which is going to be making our adaptive control units. And we'll put that one right here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that'll go there. Okay, and I think I have some computers in inventory. Adaptive control unit, so we can feed that in. We'll give it some heavy modular frames, and then we need circuit boards and automated wiring. All right, and then this needs to be slooped. Okay, and then the other ingredients we'll get from below. Well, we can get the circuit boards from up here. Yeah, so where are my circuit boards? Circuit boards are right here. So yeah, let's bring those in directly. And then the other 2 we get from downstairs. There we go. Okay, looks like these are almost full of circuit boards. All right, what else do we need? Automated wiring and modular frames. Okay, so where are the modular frames? Ah, yes, and actually we can bring in the modular frames from up here as well. Here, let's tighten this up a bit. There we go. Here, you can have those circuit boards. Here, let's take those and those just so we can fill this up to start with. Okay, yeah, and then the last thing we need is the automated wiring. And I think that'll give me enough space. No, not quite. Okay. There it is. Oh, adaptive. I was trying to type in automatic. It is the adaptive control unit. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, what am I doing wrong here? Heavy modular frames. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, heavy modular frames I'm bringing in by belt. That's what the issue was. Okay, from this one. There we go. All right, let's get the adaptive control units brought over. Where are the adaptive control units? Oh, they're over here. I forgot. Okay. So I'm going to change this slightly. Let's change it slightly one more time. 1, 2. That's better. All right. Sorry. Let me just go forward by one tile. Bring this down to ground level. There we go. And then I'll just hook around here. Okay. And in go the adaptive control units. Once they make it. Or the automatic wiring is what I mean, not adaptive control units. Automated wiring. All right, baby. We are doing it. So we just need 100 of those. Not too many. Let's see how we're doing on the these things. modular engines. Let's throw a sign on that. There we go. Okay. We have 151. We need 500. Okay. And this is going to take a bit. So, what I'm going to do is I'll pause here. We will wait for these things to be built. And then we'll take them over to the space elevator and we'll finish phase 3 before the end of this video. I'll see you in a minute. All right, and we're back. Since we got this build complete, I took a shower, had lunch, and went grocery shopping. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 500 modular engines. And we have almost 200 adaptive control units. So we are ready to finish up phase 3. Let's go do it. Let's launch this stuff into space. I left myself a little hyper tube to get back home, or close to it. There you can see our smart plating. Like I said, that was a long run by belt, but too short for trains. Now, one thing I haven't done in this game is use the trucks or the tractors to move stuff around. That's always an option too. To be honest, I've never used them for anything other than just, you know, occasionally getting around on the map. But maybe if I do another playthrough, I will do that. Oh, okay. Sorry, I just came here because I was thinking to drop off some of this stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. Housekeeping's done. Let's get over to the space elevator and get rid of this stuff. I need a catwalk here. All right, here we are, phase 3. There's your modular engines, and there's your adaptive control units. Let's go.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 3 project part shipment is finally ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 3 will be completed and the main body will be constructed. You should know how this works by now. You'll get access to Tiers 7 and 8 in the hub.
Ooh.
In fact, perhaps you should just go look at the technologies there yourself. It's all laid out so that even a monkey could understand it, so you should have no issues. Speaking of which, I don't think you need a reminder about project parts. Instead, I will be providing some interesting facts. Did you know the average pioneer succeeds at saving the day? Did you know the average pioneer knows how to optimize pipe throughput? Did you know the average pioneer stays late at work because they care about humanity? Anyway, I thought you might want to know more about your peers. Good luck in Phase 4.
All right, let's go.
Phase 3 of Project Assembly completed. Fixit's predictions indicate pioneers should generally reach this point faster with above-average results, but we should all adjust our expectations according to the situation. It is understandable. The pressure and complexity will only increase from here, so be sure to take on Phase 4 with efficiency and competence.
All right. Cool. Let's go take a look at what phase 4 is like. All right, so this unlocks tiers 7 and 8. And, yeah, 7 and 8. Tier 6 is kind of pulsing because we were on that last time. So we have bauxite refinement, which is going to give us aluminum parts. This will probably be one of the first steps that we need to take, since some of these later items are going to require those aluminum parts. So more likely than not, the first thing that we'll do is set up some aluminum production. The hover pack, this will be very nice to have. This allows us to, well, like it says, to fly around, hover in the air, without having to, do the sorts of acrobatics you have to do with the jetpack. We'll get a new level of belts that use aluminum. Those will move up to 780 parts per minute. So I'm sure we'll be taking advantage of that. We can get the hazmat suit, which protects one from radiation as well as gas. Control system development. This is going to give us some of the items that we need to make the project parts. It'll also unlock the blender, which is the machine that lets us make, among other things, diluted fuel. So we'll be using that new device pretty soon. We can also unlock drones, which are very handy for moving, relatively small quantities of items long distances. So we may or may not incorporate those into this build. It'll depend on where we set things up. We have nuclear power available. I'm not sure yet if we'll do nuclear power. I would like to. I've never done it before, so maybe we'll do that this time. You have advanced aluminum, kind of like we had advanced steel. This is also where you unlock the resource wells. You may recall when we were setting up plastic, there was an oil well out there that I said that you had to pressurize in order to get the oil out. Well, this is what that is, right? And that also unlocks a couple other parts that we're going to need. We'll also have the ability to package nitrogen, if not pipe it. We get a Mark III miner, and we get some more fancy stuff that can help with nuclear power. We also get the particle accelerator, which we need for the nuclear pasta, and the pressure conversion cube. Or maybe it's just a nuclear pasta. I don't remember. It'll be a while. We also have the ability to make copper powder. So we'll get into all of that in the next episode. Until then, I'm going to clean up the Phase 3 base, or Phase 3 factory. And I'm going to spend some time planning out Phase 4. Like I said, the first piece of business we need to do is to find ourselves some bauxite and, it's not scannable yet, is it? Okay, we'll have to unlock that first. I know that there's some not far from here. I think there's some up here on this elevated plateau here. If I'm not mistaken, there is a pure bauxite node there. I'm not sure if one is going to be enough, though. But anyway, we'll do all that next time. I'll do some planning offline. I will be out of town for the next week, so the next episode will be delayed somewhat compared to the others. But I look forward to being back and seeing you again. Have fun, everybody. See you later.